Located in Springfield, Massachusetts. It was a group of restless college students. The young men had to be there. They were required to participate in indoor activities to burn off the energy that had been building up since their football season ended. The gymnasium class offered them activities such as marching, calisthenics, and apparatus work, but these were pale substitutes for the more exciting games of football and lacrosse they played in warmer seasons. So Naismith went to work. His charge was to create a game that was easy to assimilate, yet complex enough to be interesting. It had to be playable indoors or on any kind of ground, and by a large number of players all at once. It should provide plenty of exercise, yet without the roughness of football, soccer, or rugby, since those would threaten bruises and broken bones if played in a confined space. Much time and thought went into this new creation. It became an adaptation of many games of its time, including American rugby, passing, English rugby, the jump ball, lacrosse, use of a goal, soccer, the shape and size of the ball, and something called Duck on a Rock, a game Naismith had played with his childhood friends in Benny's Corners, Ontario. Duck on a Rock used a ball and a goal that could not be rushed. The goal could not be slammed through, thus necessitating a goal with a horizontal opening high enough so that the ball would have to be tossed into it rather than being thrown. Naismith approached the school janitor, hoping he could find two 18-inch square boxes to use as goals. The janitor came back with two peach baskets instead. Naismith then nailed them to the lower rail of the gymnasium balcony, one at each end. The height of that lower balcony rail happened to be 10 feet. A man was stationed at each end of the balcony to pick the ball from the basket and put it back into play. It wasn't until a few years later that the bottoms of those peach baskets were cut to let the ball fall loose. Naismith then drew up the 13 original rules, which described, among other facets, the method of moving the ball and what constituted a foul. A referee was appointed. The game would be divided into two 15-minute halves with a 5-minute resting period in between. Naismith's secretary typed up the rules and tacked them on a bulletin board. A short time later, the gym class met, and the teams were chosen with 3 centers, 3 forwards, and 3 guards per side. 2 of the centers met at midcourt. Naismith tossed the ball, and the game of basketball was born. Here's a fun fact. When James Naismith first invented this game, one of his students said, "You should probably name it Naismith Ball after you." But Naismith didn't agree that was a great idea. So he decided that he would listen to the student a little bit more and see what exactly he had in mind. And the student said, "Well, since we play with baskets and there's a ball, we should call it basketball." Over the next 20 years, Naismith made a few adjustments to the game he played with some different set of balls, and he also realized that it would be tough to keep playing the game constantly with having just a ball go into the basket and never come through the hoop. So he then decided to cut a hole in the peach basket, which then allowed the ball to fall through, but then later added a backboard and also a metal ring to enhance the game. Because Naismith students enjoyed the game so much, they started going to other YMCAs and spreading the word of the game and teaching all the skills and rules of the game. By 1895, basketball started being implemented in different high schools for the boys and girls team, but with different rules. But in 1898, the first college team actually had a basketball team, and that was Kansas University. Before we get into the full evolution of the game, let's talk about what the basic rules of basketball were before they got complex as they are today. Number 1, the ball may be thrown in any direction with one or both hands. Number 2, the ball may be battled in any direction with one or both hands, never with the fist. Number 3, a player cannot run with the ball. The player must throw it from the spot on which he catches it. Allowance to be made for a man who catches the ball when running at a good speed if he tries to stop. Number 4, the ball must be held lower body must not be used for holding it. Number 5, no shouldering, holding, pushing, tripping, or striking in any way the person of an opponent shall be allowed. The first infringement of this rule by any player shall count as a foul. The second shall disqualify him until the next goal is made, or if there is evident intent to injure the person for the whole of the game, no substitute allowed. Number 6, a foul is striking at the ball with the fist. Violation of rules 3, 4, and such as described in rule 5. Number 7, if either side makes 3 consecutive fouls, it shall count for a goal for the opponents. Consecutive means without the opponents in the meantime making a foul. Number 8, a goal shall be made when the ball is thrown or battled from the grounds into the basket and stays there, providing those defending the goal do not touch or disturb the goal. If the ball rests on the edges and the opponent moves the basket, it shall count as a goal. Number 9, when the ball goes out of bounds, it shall be thrown into the field of play by the person first touching it. In case of a dispute, the umpire shall throw it straight into the field. The thrower in is allowed 5 seconds. If he holds it longer, it shall go to the opponent. If any side persists in delaying the game, the umpire shall call a foul on that side. Number 10, the umpire shall be the judge of the men and shall note the fouls and notify the referee when 3 consecutive fouls have been made. He shall have power to disqualify men according to Rule 5. Number 11, the referee shall be judge of the ball